Hidden deep within the rolling hills of New York State lies a story buried under layers of secrecy. A mansion that once hummed not with music, but with the sound of innovation and danger. They called it Tuxedo Park, but this was no ordinary estate. Behind its elegant facade was a laboratory that changed the course of the Second World War, and perhaps the fate of humanity itself. Alfred Lee Loomis, a name you won't find in most history books, a man of wealth, intellect, and paradox. Born in 1887, Loomis trained as a lawyer, made a fortune on Wall Street, and retired before most people even find their path in life. But while the world knew him as a millionaire, his friends in secret circles knew another side: the physicist, the experimenter, the man obsessed with time and light. Loomis wasn't just rich, he was brilliantly dangerous. With his own money, he built private laboratories filled with cutting-edge equipment, hosting secret gatherings of scientists, inventors, and even future Nobel laureates. And then, in the 1930s, he found his true playground, an exclusive gated community called Tuxedo Park. In this tranquil and guarded enclave, Loomis transformed his mansion into a high-tech sanctuary, a place so advanced even government scientists were astonished. Visitors describe long corridors filled with wires, prisms, and mysterious machinery, and a massive steel vault protecting what he called his radar room. Inside, experiments took place that seemed to blend science and magic. Loomis studied sound waves, ultrasonics, and electromagnetic radiation. But his true obsession was with something that could see what the human eye could not: radar. Tuxedo Park became a sanctuary for the brightest minds of the 20th century. Albert Einstein, Enrico Fermi, Niels Bohr, even the enigmatic Ernest Lawrence, all passed through these gates. They called it the Loomis Laboratory, but to the uninvited, it was simply a rumor, a hidden place where scientific reality blurred with the impossible. What were they building in there? And why was the US government suddenly so interested? When World War II erupted, the Allies faced a new enemy: unseen attacks from the skies. Britain was struggling to detect German bombers before they struck. Loomis saw the future before anyone else did. He offered his wealth, his lab, and his network to the government. No red tape, no politics, only results. It was here, in the mansion's secret rooms, that scientists developed critical radar technologies, systems that could detect enemy aircraft miles away, even in darkness or fog. Without radar, the Battle of Britain might have been lost. Without Loomis, radar might never have come in time. But not everything inside Tuxedo Park was ever revealed. There were whispers of experiments beyond radar, work on timing, nuclear energy, and even mind-altering frequencies. Some said Loomis was dabbling with the very nature of perception, bending waves, bending time. When military intelligence later declassified fragments of his notes, entire pages were missing, redacted, erased. Did Loomis stumble upon something greater than he intended? Or did he simply see too far into the future? When the war ended, the government took control of much of Loomis's research. Radar had changed warfare forever, and the credit went to others. Loomis quietly withdrew from the world he helped save. His mansion was eventually sold, the lab dismantled, the equipment dispersed. What remained were fragments of a story, one too strange to be entirely told, yet too real to dismiss. Today, radar guides aircraft, tracks storms, even maps distant planets. Yet, few remember the man who foresaw it all: Alfred Lee Loomis, the silent architect of modern defense technology. His story raises a haunting question. How many revolutions in science were born not in universities or government labs, but behind locked doors, in private mansions, by men who were too rich and too curious to wait for permission?